Yeah, I tend to get kind of bitchy about wasting material, especially when it comes to like resins and stuff like that. So when I'm pouring up my resin, there's most of the time those things are empty before they kick. So like
Right. Yeah.
because when I start to see them kick, I'm like, okay, where am I lacking? And then I'll just like pour it on the mold and just just start tapping glass like insanity.
I when we were doing the SMG project using polyester, and if you even slightly over catalyze that, it'll kick off a little quicker than you want it to. And I remember a couple of times it was starting to heat up in my hand, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I would empty out the cup enough to keep it cool so I can continue work with the material that I had before it went off. Because I didn't want to be. I was like you, Robert. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't measure this right, and I have too much material for the amount of work that I have to do, and it's going to go off on me now."
Yeah, and that's the other thing about so much of what we do. It's every job is different in the sense of, what quantity of material is it going to take to do this particular part of it. So it's like, yeah, we know that 8 ounces of laminating resin will cover this much square footage with 2 layers of 1.5 ounce cloth, or 2 layers of 3/4 ounce mat, or whatever. But every little piece of every little job is different, so there will be those times where the initial couple of mixes isn't enough or is too
It's too
much,
much.
and until you get it dialed in, and then 3 or 4 months goes by and you forget all that, and are thankful that you took video of your whole processes so you can revisit it and figure out what to do next.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different schools of thought when it comes to things like resins and stuff like that, where like you get people like you measure things out, you have your catalyst measured out and everything like that, and you pour it in there. Or I'm on the other side where I'm like, oh, that looks about right. you
Yeah.
know? And like sometimes it'll get a little bit hot, sometimes it's a little undercured, but as long as you get the minimum in there, it's like, okay, well, I guess this is just gonna set overnight and it'll be fine in the morning,
Yeah.
So it's like,
And it is so much of what we do, especially on a low budget situation or low time frame situations. It's all about getting it done on time and getting it on film.
yeah.
And thinking back about jumping around from different shops back in the day, and then winding up at places like Stan's, or Stan Winston's, or Rick Baker's, where they had the element of time to get things done artistically. And Rick's in particular is like every part of the project is just as important as the part previous to the process.